My dad, Charles Johnson, finished basic training in 1951 and was about to be shipped off to Korea. 2 days before he left, he decided to marry the love of his life, my mom. That night, he went to her house and woke up Grandma and Granddaddy and asked for their blessing. After talking with them, they went ahead and woke up the preacher. Daddy told him, "I'm leaving in 2 days. I love her and I want to marry her." The preacher married them that night, November 2nd, 1951. 2 days later, he took a plane to Washington, a boat to Japan, and then it was off to Korea. Mom wrote him letters every day. They'd say anything from how her day went to something she saw to how much she loved him. She'd always find time to write. He spent 2 years fighting in that war, 2 years away from the love of his life. None of us knew exactly what he saw or what he had to do. He never spoke much about it. Nothing. Not his experiences, his friends. Actually, none of his friends that he lost in the war. There was only one buddy that we heard about that survived. Daddy was 21 when he went to war, and we never heard about what he had to do. But my Aunt Tabby, Dad's older sister, who basically raised him, she would always say that Charlie was the sweetest kid she'd ever known. Then he went to Korea and came back as someone completely different. Dad grew up in the 40s, so smoking wasn't out of the ordinary. He'd been smoking since he was young. He used to walk down the street and pick up half-used cigarettes off the ground just to smoke them. But when he came back from the war, it wasn't just smoking. He came back drinking, too. I can remember when I was younger and I wasn't old enough to stay home alone yet. My dad put me in the car and drove a few miles to the bar. It was always the same one, the one just past the border of Virginia. That's not what's important, though. He put me in the car and drive up to the bar and he'd go in and drink. Just left me in the car, alone. Sure, he was right inside, but no child should ever be left alone in the car for their father to get drunk. There were days when he would come home drunk. We'd never know what to expect, so we were terrified. It wasn't that he was a mean drunk. He was always a loving father. We just feared him being angry because his reaction was unpredictable. Our house had a gravel driveway, so we could hear when his car would pull up. We'd always wonder, who is he? Is he the dad that would spend the entire night loving on his family? Or was he the dad that would get annoyed at everything his wife and kids said? We'd never know which one would walk through that door. One day, Dad was talking to Mom. He pulled her into the parking lot, but when he opened the door, a beer can rolled out in front of all the men at church. This is the most embarrassing thing that he's ever had to go through. That was the day he decided to stop drinking. He threw away all the alcohol and never missed another day of church unless absolutely necessary. After my brother and I were born, my mom suffered from a few miscarriages. But after Dad stopped drinking and I was 15, we found out she was pregnant again. Dad likes to say that my little sister Sophia was a gift from God for cleaning up his act. On top of drinking, both Mom and Dad smoked a lot. It was my job to clean up the ashtrays. They were lying all over the house, and I had to clean them every day. I would gag and cough as I did it, and I absolutely hated cleaning it. It was disgusting. I still hate ashtrays to this day, but he stopped smoking too. He stopped smoking when my little sister started coughing on the way to a road trip. What you need to understand is when my dad was 9, his mother passed away from asthma. He remembered standing at the bottom of the bed crying because she couldn't talk to him. I can't remember who said it, but someone busted him for crying and ushered him and his older sister Jenny, who was only 18 months older, out of the room. He never even got to say goodbye. Throughout Dad's struggles with alcoholism and smoking, Mom always took care of him, no matter what. She was there for him, as well as their 3 kids, until the day they traded places. My mom became sick and needed help walk around the house, or she was in and out of the hospital, or when she couldn't even leave her bed. He was the one to take care of her until the day she passed. All of these experiences made him who he is, no matter how bad they were. He learned from them. He had his wife and his kids who loved him unconditionally, so he grew. He grew into the man he was today.